Good evening. Good evening. That was me just doing a last minute tweak to my branding there as this jumped on to live. How are you this evening? I hope that you are well. I hope that you are having a fantastic week in this lead up to Christmas and that everything is organized and you are feeling calm and that you are enjoying yourself and that you are ready to spend some quality time with your families, because that's what it's all about this week, isn't it? Winding down, getting your businesses to a certain stage and then stepping back and allowing yourself the time to look after yourself and to spend time with the people that you love. So I hope that's all happening for you. However, business goes on. Business never stops. It doesn't stop for Christmas. It doesn't stop for New Year. It doesn't stop for your birthday. It doesn't stop for anything. And tonight I want to talk about leveraging one of the things that can really put a different perspective on your business and allow you to tackle it from multiple different angles. So I want to talk about the importance of PR to your business, how you can use it and how you can leverage it to help you to grow your business and your brand, to continue to give you the quality results that you really need, the money that you need to attract, the abundance that you need to attract into your business. Anyway, that's the title for tonight. I'm literally just going to be chatting to you about PR, how to find it, what to do with it, how to leverage it. So for those of you that don't know me, that are dropping on now from multiple different platforms, I am Mandy Nicholson and I am the Creative Genius Consultant. I'm an artist, I'm an author and a creative retreat owner, and I help creative women to launch, grow and scale their businesses and make more money. One of the many things that I've used and leveraged in my business over the past 3 years has been PR. And there's a difference between PR and marketing. And people do get confused with the two because there is a little bit of a crossover sometimes. Marketing is within your control. It's your strategy for marketing your business. And in marketing your business, you can use PR, but PR in itself is almost a separate strategy. And what is PR? Public relations. It is telling your story on multiple different media outlets. So for instance, marketing your business could be your social media strategy, using Facebook ads, how you appear in groups, etc., and how you present yourself online. Where a PR strategy can be completely different. It can be sharing with people a different side to you, your story, your business that isn't normally seen through your social media channels. So for instance, tonight at 8 o'clock, and it's 4 minutes past 7 at the minute, I am being interviewed for Fox TV in the States on Zoom. I couldn't travel to the States when this TV appearance was booked 2 years ago. My life was very, very different, very different. In fact, when it was booked, Gary was still alive. And then COVID has put this opportunity on Fox TV back, and it's put it back. We couldn't travel. So it's been actually almost 3 years since the original TV appearance was booked. So my business and my life is very different now, and I could not leave my son on his own to look after the art bank and my coaching business, and although I could take my coaching business with me. So I have got tonight, the night that I'm talking to you about PR, I've got the biggest piece of PR in my business so far. In 55 minutes time, I'm going to be talking to the presenter on Fox TV and recording my interview, and that interview will be going out in a couple of weeks' time. I think that's possibly one of the most, let's call it a pinnacle of my on my own business career so far. I have appeared on TV before when I've worked for somebody else. I've been in a lot of big publications. This is something different though. Hey, Laura, nice to see you. Right, so what is PR? PR, public relations, is a relationship that you develop with media outlets that enables them to tell your story through those outlets. So newspapers, magazines, podcasts, radio shows, TV appearances. Now, it's really difficult to get into some of these opportunities. So TV is really hard to get into. It's really hard to get an appearance on TV. Something you've got to pitch and pitch and pitch and pitch. And it's just literally falling at the right feet at the right time with the right story based on what's of interest to the public at that particular time. It's very similar with newspapers and magazines. They can love your story, but a piece of news can happen that's more worthy of being put into publication than your story. And so it's almost out of your hands. So if you go to my website on the welcome page and scroll down to the bottom, there are loads of pieces of PR there. So the first thing that PR does for you, it is called a trust stamp. It enables people to have a level of trust in your business. So I've appeared in the Daily Mail, which is a trustworthy publication, depending on which view you have of the Daily Mail, whether you are left or right wing. But the Daily Mail is a big publication. So that's a good trust stamp to have on your website, on your social media sites. I've got the Amazon Trust Stamp because I'm a published author. I've appeared in Spirit and Destiny magazine. I've appeared in Prima magazine and several other online publications, podcasts, etc. These trust stamps sit on my website to show people that I'm actually what I say I am, and that I've been worthy of appearing in these publications. They've taken me seriously enough to run my story, to tell the world about my story. And it enables people to have a level of trust. And we all know that the know, like, and trust factor is really important. So when people Google you or when they see these trust stamps, it enables them to warm to you at a different level than if these are not there. So for instance, after tonight, after I filmed my Fox TV interview, it will be aired on Morning Breeze TV in Miami, Florida. And that goes out to about a 90 million viewership. That's a great trust stamp to have through your branding, through your social media. People can watch the TV clip and it gives them trust that you are an expert in your industry. And that's what it's about. You want to be seen as an expert in your niche area or in your industry. So how do you find PR opportunities and how do you use them to good effect in your business? So one of the things I do regularly is PR comes and goes within my business strategy. Sometimes I focus on it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it drops in my lap because I have focused on it, but rarely does somebody come knocking at my door. PR is something that you have to go and seek out. So if you set an intent, and I asked this question last week through my social media, what is your intent? I set the intent in November, I think it was actually October, that I wanted to increase my level of PR, my exposure, my visibility through media outlets. I made the decision to hire somebody to find those opportunities for me, which is what I've been doing. I shared the other day that I've been working with Melanie Whitaker, who does that for a living and has been able to find several opportunities for me so far and continues to send them to me because the opportunities for PR are out there. Since I set that intent, I have done 7 podcasts and I have an interview tomorrow, an interview on Friday. I've just booked in 3 for January and February. I'm interviewing on Fox TV tonight. When you set the intent that you want to bring this onto your psyche, onto your strategy for your business, and then take action on that, then you can find the opportunities. There are thousands, literally thousands of people with podcasts that are looking for guests to interview. There are thousands of radio shows that are looking for guests with interesting stories to interview. So how do you do that? First things first, you need to think about your story. What is it that's interesting about your story? We've all got a story. Most of you know my story. I've had this, from abundance to bankruptcy and back again. I've had huge losses. My husband died in 2020. That's the dogs barking. Sorry. That's part and parcel of my Tuesday Night Live, isn't it? Bo likes to let his voice be heard. I lost my husband in 2020. I bought my mini castle in Scotland. I've got so many bits of my story that are of interest. They make interesting stories. But I'm no different to you, and you will have as many interesting things in your life story and business story that you can pull into something that could be presented to a podcast or to a radio show. So that's the first step. Go and think about your story and think about what it is. Have you written a book? Have you had a life event that's changed your direction in business? Have you created something or invented something that's different or unique or bespoke? Have you helped somebody in an amazing way and they've had a fantastic breakthrough and they've changed their lives? Have you been a great counselor and have you got hundreds of clients that are doing well now because of that? Have you worked with children and had an impact with children? You will have something in your story that is newsworthy or that somebody is looking to interview you about. We all have. And it's only the fact that you haven't thought about it yet that's stopping you leveraging that and using that for your business. So let me tell you now, local newspapers are always, always, always looking for news stories. And let me tell you another thing. Since I launched my mini course from inspired idea to published author, I know loads of ladies that are now published authors that were not published authors at the beginning of 2022. And if they contacted their local newspapers and said, I launched this journal or I launched this children's book this year, that would probably be of interest. That's a great story to be talking to a radio or podcast about. So what is it that you've done this year or last year that you think could be something that could be discussed on a podcast, on a radio show, in a newspaper, in a magazine? So let me tell you some of the things that have appeared in the stories that I've done over the last couple of years. Spirit and Destiny magazine did a 4-page story on me in July of this year, based on the fact that I use coloring in mandalas to help you with your mental well-being and how creativity can help you with mental well-being. So that was just a really small part of my story and one of the many things that I do, but they were looking for, it was trending. Mental health and mental well-being connected with creativity was trending. So I pitched that into Spirit and Destiny magazine and they accepted and did a 4-page article on that. Prima magazine were looking for people with life-changing stories, things that had happened in lockdown that had been life-changing. So I pitched in, I'd lost my husband in lockdown, yet still built my business. That's a story. It's a very different story to the one that was in Spirit and Destiny magazine, but it still shows me as an expert in my area, keep going through difficult times, lots of different facets to my business. So there's lots of different things that you can bring to the party that are of interest to journalists, to newspapers, to magazines, to podcasts. So I've got a podcast interview tomorrow on a podcast that's about inspiring women. I've got one on Friday that's a completely different podcast, but similar, and wanting me to tell my story, and a very different one in January that I'm talking about how to be abundant and how I've become abundant and how I've built an abundant business. I may have another one where I'm just talking about writing my book. I often do podcasts where all I'm talking about is writing a book, how you become a published author. In fact, I've done a podcast this year on how I became a published author and how I've successfully sold copies of my book and how I market my book. So here's the thing to do after tonight. I want you to go away and think about all the different things in your business that you could talk about? Have you written a book? Have you done something different? Have you done something unique? Do you have a difference in what you do to other people? Do you paint in a certain way that's different to other people? Do you use different mediums in what you do? What is it that makes you stand out? What is it that makes you unique? And how can you tell a story about that? Then what you need to do is pitch that to as many different people as you can. Now, you can go online, Google your local newspaper, in fact, any newspaper, and find the editorial team and email them the synopsis of your story. And they'll either completely ignore you, or they'll contact you and say, do you want to talk to us? Or, they'll book you in there and then. What's the worst that can happen? And what I would say is you probably need to send 100 of those to get 1 or 2 yeses. You've got to be persistent. I remember a friend of mine who wanted to get her business on TV, sitting down, writing and sending 30 emails a day, every single day, until she got a response. And she got onto Time Tease TV and it exploded her business. That's how important PR can be to your business. But you've got to work for it. You either hire somebody to do it for you and pay them, which is standard practice, or you do the work yourself and you pitch. Might take you longer than a professional that's already got all of the contacts. So you've got to weigh up cost and benefit and return on investment with everything that you do. The Fox TV interview that I am doing tonight did not land on my lap. It's something called pay to play. I paid to be on Fox TV so that I can get this interview in this segment called Women of Influence and use this as a trust stamp in my business. It was an investment in my business that enables me to utilize this trust stamp for years to come. I was on Fox TV. It's a great trust stamp. Lots of the people that you see with Fox TV, BBC, ITV are using pay to play. Pay to play is really common in the PR industry, particularly in TV and well-known radio shows where you will pay for your slot. I get pitches all the time to pay to go on radio shows. They tell me what the listenership is, and I have to decide whether I want to make that investment in my business or not. So not all PR is free. Sometimes you may have to pay to get your story in a high-profile magazine. That's normal. It's not sleazy or anything like that. It's actually quite normal. But these are business strategy decisions. How much do you want to get your business in front of more people? Now, there's a stage of your business that you decide to do that. You're not going to do that in the early days when you haven't got any money and you haven't built your social media platforms to the level that you need them to be. You haven't got a website that's got lots of traffic. You haven't got the following that you want. There needs to be a certain level in your business, and you need to be making enough income to make these strategic decisions to invest in PR opportunities. But until then, there's lots of freebies out there, hundreds of them. All of these podcasts I've done in the last 2 months have been free. So get PR into your business as part of your strategy for visibility, and for getting your story out there, and for building your trust stamps so that people can see you are story worthy. Believe me, the more trust stamps you have, the more people are interested in you. And when you do that, it becomes a part of how you run your business. Like I said, mine ebbs and flows. I have a focus on it for a few months, then I step back a little bit, then I focus on it again, depends on what's happening in my business. Next year, I've got some really exciting things happen that are very newsworthy that I will be looking for PR for. You might have as well. So have a think about that. I wish you all the luck in the world in finding PR opportunities. I can't share all of mine with you because they are personal to me, as in my PR lady has found them for me. But there are hundreds out there that are perfect for you. People are looking for authors, they're looking for artists, they're looking for creatives, they're looking for coaches and well-being experts to come and talk about what they do and how they help people. So put yourself out there and don't be scared, and don't think that you are not worthy, because you absolutely are. So this is my last night live now, until I think about the 8th of January, because I'm taking a full 2 weeks off to be with my family. And I've got a few exciting things happening during that time. So I will see you in the new year. I'm going to wish you all a really wonderful Christmas. Have a beautiful time with your families, friends, whatever you are doing. I hope that you eat well, that you live well, and you be very, very merry. And I will see you in a fortnight. Bye for now.